with our or case, what we're looking at are things called disjunctions, where for disjunctions, the idea here is to take one or the other, P or Q. We have two options and we can get this one or that one. And hopefully looking at this symbol as well as the last one, as I said it would, your mind might start flashing back to stuff we saw with our set theory. And again, this is a very similar flavor of thing with very similar ideas behind it and how this stuff comes together. It should look very similar because it performs a similar role. The V1 is like the U1, it says or. The cap one is like the peaked one, it says and. So let's get another example here for how the disjunctive or works with this notation. Here we'll let P represent the statement it was a rock, while Q represents the statement it was a rock lobster. And what we want to do is express the two statements it was a rock or it was a rock lobster, along with it wasn't a rock or it was a rock lobster, using symbolic logic. So for the first, again, we're doing that very direct case like we did in the last example of having P, it was a rock, or Q, it was a rock lobster. So we just have the standard P, V, Q, P or Q in that notation. And then similarly, for our second case, we are saying we don't want to have the first one. We do not want a rock. We are negating the rock, so not P or Q. And also, before we move on to our next one, hopefully, thinking of our notation here, you're also remembering the idea of De Morgan's laws in terms of negating things with unions and intersections. And you might wonder, if we negate things with disjunctions and conjunctions, does it work in the same way? And the answer there actually is yes, but we're going to get to that in a little while. First, to get through more of our connectives, which means next, looking at what is called the conditional statement, which is in terms of the phrasing if-then.